Welcome, everyone. We are live, and you know what day it is. It's Friday. Oh, yes, it is. And I am pleased as punch. I am tickled pink, if you will. Anywho, as I was sitting at the table last night when I got home from work, and I said to myself, how did it get to be midnight already? Ugh. Anyway, I said, what are we going to share? Why history keeps repeating itself. Because of the principle of rhythm. Short answer, principle of rhythm. It is a pattern. And patterns keep repeating unless they are remade. I want you to ponder that. Patterns keep repeating unless they are remade. This is why history keeps repeating itself. Nothing magical, no phenomena, no mic drop, no mind blown, nothing. It is simply the principle of rhythm at play. Remember what rhythm is. Rhythm is an ebb and a flow. Why? When you can count the distance between the ebb and flow so you know when one is happening again. Well, why is that? Because you can recognize the pattern. Remember what is before rhythm? Polarity. So when you can see the distance between what appear to be two things, let's not get this twisted. What appears to be two things. Ebb and flow looks like two things. But what is ebbing and flowing? Just one thing. When you go to the beach and the waves come in and they pull out again, it looks like two motions, doesn't it? But it's only one thing doing that action. It is one thing, which is the ocean, undulating. It comes in and it goes out. At high tide, what gets high? Water. At low tide, what gets low? Water. Only one thing is moving. So there's a nature and it does something. It acts. Not that there's a duality. This is why sometimes we get confused when we see things rise and fall, ebb and flow. We're like, oh my God. No, it's just one thing. Roman Empire, Egypt. This was all living. It was all life. And it ebbed and it flowed. And here we are again in the ebb and the flow. This pattern. Patterns only change if and when we change. It is only mirroring our pattern, the pattern of humanity. If you are a seamstress or a tailor, you have a pattern that you cut out. And you say, I'm cutting out a dress because I'm going to make a dress. You get the pattern, you cut it out, it's a dress, surprise. And every time you cut out the pattern to make something, it is a dress because that's what you say you're making. But then one day you say, you know what? I'm going to make me some pants. You cannot use the same dress pattern. Now, of course, if you're a skilled seamstress, of course, you can modify. But either way you look at it, you've got to change the original pattern so that you can change the outcome of the design of what you're going to wear. So when you look at life and you see that it keeps repeating itself, you see, use the principle of correspondence here. We look at the world and it keeps repeating itself. That's great. Now go as above, so below. That's the world. As above, so below, compared to you. But you have patterns too, which is as within, so without. So you look at your pattern. How do you recognize a pattern that you have in your life? Remember, a pattern is a habit. Well, it's the same thing done the same way every time. So how do you recognize a pattern in your life? Oh, that's easy. You will say any one of these phrases. I keep telling it to you, but you've got to apply it. You will say any one of these phrases, and any one of these phrases are telling you, hey, this is your pattern. Do you want to keep doing it, or would you like to remake a new pattern? If you say, why does this keep happening to me? That's your first clue that you're dealing with a pattern, a rhythm, a habit, an ebb, and a flow in your life. Or if you say, oh my God, why do I keep doing the same thing over and over? That's your pattern. Why do they keep treating me the same way? That is your pattern of behavior. So remember, a pattern can only change if you change. So how do you change a pattern? Well, look at the first pattern. You did something the same way every time. This is how one forms a pattern. This is why when I tell you that we only form patterns, we don't break them. We only form them. Why? Where's the evidence that we only make them? Well, to learn something and do it efficiently, what do? You learn it and you do it the same way every time. You never unlearn. You just learn to do something the same way every time. Over and over, the pattern is this: learn, memorize, do it, because you are it. You learn it, commit it to memory. Eh? To commit something to memory means you lay it down in your neurological pathway in your brain. That is a memory. That memory is either triggered by smell, by your senses, smell, taste, touch, sight, hearing. Yes? That's how we make patterns, by doing the same thing the same way every time. So you say, but Angela, I'm unlearning. No, you're not unlearning. You are learning. Look at the action. It looks as if you're unlearning, but if you pay attention, you will see that you are only ever learning, committing to memory, and applying over and over and over again. Do you see where your power is? Your power lies in the persistence. Pardon me. Your power lies in the persistence of doing the same thing the same way every time. Because you see, we sometimes we lose heart because we say, oh my God, I gotta keep doing this. Dude, you are already doing it. How do you think you got into that first pattern? You learned it, you memorized it, and you keep doing it. So if you want to change a behavior that you do not like within yourself, you do not hate the behavior, dear God, no. Why don't you hate the behavior? Because if you hate the behavior, you're coming from a different place now. You're not coming from a place of change if you hate the behavior. Let me paint a picture for you. If you say, I gotta stop doing this. Man, I hate this thing. I hate who I am when I do it. You're complaining. You get caught up in the complaining of the thing because you're looking at it. It has you in its thrall. It's got you frozen. And then when you're in that frame of mind, when you're in that mood, then thoughts like, what if I can't change? What if I'm stuck like this forever? See? because that thought has to follow that mood. But if you say, oh, look at that, I see my pattern. Well, isn't that neat? And then you tell yourself, okay, how do I make a pattern? Doing the same thing the same way every time. So, what is the new behavior that I want to do? When you ask yourself that question, a funny little thing happens. You begin to see it. You begin to see yourself. You begin to see yourself doing it. Now, here's what happens to us sometimes as people. When we see ourselves doing the new thing and living a new life in our mind's eye, first thing we want to say sometimes is, that's crazy. Like Rocky and Bullwinkle. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That was an old Canadian show. Rocky, oh my God, Rocky was a moose? No, Bullwinkle was the moose. I forget what Rocky was, but anyway. And he would say to Bullwinkle, that stuff never works. That's how he would say it all the time. That's what we say to ourselves. Oh man, that'll never go. That's never working. I'm too old to change. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Listen, yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. The dog is not about the trick, the dog is about the treat. You have the treat, and the dog will do it. The dog will do what you ask because of the treat. So, what does that tell you? The treat for you is this: a much more beautiful life. Don't you want that? The smell of it, the taste of it, the sound of it, the way that it looks. Well, I know you want it. I want it for myself. So you have to get up and you look at yourself and you say, okay, so I am presently doing dot, dot, dot. And you know that change is inevitable once you choose it. Once you choose the direction that you want to go in, so long as you stay in that direction, you will accomplish what it is you set out to do. So that history in your life will stop repeating itself. So you identify the thing that is repeating. You know, kind of like me. I tell you the same thing every day. I tell you the same thing every day, just with a slightly different flavor. You know? Some days we scotch bonnet it. Some days we dip it in honey. Other days, well, we give it to you raw. But either way, it is the same message. Examine the pattern. Don't judge it. When you judge the pattern, it makes you feel as if you can't change. And if you feel like you can't change, then you don't want to. You're like, oh, I can't do this anyway, so why try? Ah, that's what we do if you judge it. But if you look at it and you say to yourself, ugh, this pattern, ugh, nuisance. You know what? I'm going to change you. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's my new pattern. And you see it in your mind's eye. Like a new starring role in a play. Because, you know, allegedly all the world is a stage, is it not? And we are merely actors upon it. Hello, William Shakespeare. But if the world is a stage, pretend that it is. It's a stage and you are acting something out. And the way to act it out with security and not to fumble your lines is to do what? Rehearse your lines. Rehearse what you want to become. Well, why? That's foolish, Angela. What do you mean rehearse what I want to become? That's not real. Okay, go to karate. Go to voice lessons. Go to dance lessons. What are you doing? Rehearsing all those things. Why? So you can be them. Because you know that the more you practice something, the better you get at it. Is that not the case? Is that not the case? You think Gordon Ramsay became Gordon Ramsay because he just decided, oh, cook today, what about tomorrow? Who cares? No, he got up and every time his beef Wellington failed, well, he may have still eaten it or he may have thrown it out, but he did it again. And he did it again. And he did it again. And he did it again. Until he could only get it right. You see that persistence? It is a superpower. You put your cape of persistence on, my friends. Indeed. Because I know scripture said you put on the whole armor of God. You put on your breastplate of righteousness, your helmet of salvation, your sword of truth. Is it your sword of truth? Oh, Lord. Or is it your belt of truth? I can't remember. Been too many years. But it says to gird your loins. Gird my loins. Yes. Shore them up. Protect them. That's what you do when you apply the principles. You look at your life and you say, I got this. How do you know you have it? You do not have to hope that you have it. You don't have to pretend that you have it. You don't have to wish for it. You need to observe the outcome. What is the outcome of rehearsal? Acting it out. Period. What is the outcome of planting? Dun, da, 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 reaping. So what are you planting? What is that new action that you're planting? Well, you know that if you do it the same way every time, it is going to become your new pattern, your new habit, your new neurological pathway. So then who changed? You did. So long as you persistently do the same thing, what do I mean by persistently? Doing it all the time. Doing it all the time. You do not deviate from it. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. That's it. Like I told you, that's why my son's rice turns out beautiful every time, because he does the same thing every time. He knows he can make that rice as fancy as he wants to, but he can't change the ratio. 2 to 1. You can make fancy rice, sure, but if you muck up that ratio, your grains might be too hard or they might be too soft. But you do the process. That is the root process, which is the principles. You do that root process, you can make anything flourish and be beautiful from there. Because that is the base, that is the root, that is the seed, that is the impetus. Right? It is the starting point. Well, look at who it is. Hello, our resident etymologist. I see you. Say hi to Laura. I see you, Mozinga. But do you get what I'm saying to you today? You have it within you to change. And that's what will stop history from repeating itself in your life. But here we want to fight. Fighting. Fighting doesn't break the pattern. Doing something different breaks the pattern. To form a new one. You must always form a new way. You mold and shape yourself into something new. How do you do that? Because clearly you're not doing it physically. Well, when you go to the gym, you sculpt your body, don't you? Here's something. We go to the gym and we think we're working on our bodies. Your body only shows you the evidence of where you mentally applied the work. Never skip leg day. If you skipped leg day, where was your focus? Upper body. How do you know that? Because the legs are skinny. So don't skip leg day. Right? When you go to the gym, your physical form changes to match your mental image. because you went to the gym mentally, not physically. Oh, let's not be in the mood to go to the gym. You will not cross the threshold of the gym unless you change your mind. You put yourself in the mood, you say, oh, God, I don't want to go today. Can I just take a break? And your habit says, well, we started this thing so that we could get a snatched summer body. So we're going to go. And you start to feel like, oh, I really should go. And you sit there, and who are you fighting with? You're not fighting with George. You're fighting with yourself. Well, how are you fighting? "Oh, I want to go, but oh, come on, you can do it. Come on, just one more day. Just this one more day. And then we can have a rest day. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Think about how good you're gonna look. Ooh, think about that meal you're gonna eat after. Oh, yes. And then what happens? Your mood changes, and who goes to the gym? Oh, you do. How did you get to the gym? You see, we miss that part every time. You have to work yourself into the mood. So if you have to work yourself into the mood, that is the solution to every one of your problems, because your problems stem from a mood. And because the mood feels like it is there all the time, remember that it is not. It's not there all the time. It ebbs and it flows. Some days you're in it, some days you're not. But it is the habit, the pattern of going to that mood over and over and over again that makes it feel like it is eternal, but it isn't. So you see, the historical thing in your life that you keep doing is only a pattern. That also goes for anxiety, depression. Oh, you doubt me. It's a mood, and you can feel it when it comes on. The very first time it happened, you're like, oh, what's that? By the seventh time, you knew what it was. When it came up, when it rose its head, you knew what it was. You see, so you always know your mood. Always. It's just that the thing that is on autopilot, you know it, but you stop seeing it. 5 minutes remaining. I trust that you grasp what I'm saying. Oh, there's this drummer. I forget his name, but he's got a big, beautiful beard. Anywho, I digress. He gets on the camera and he does this fancy thing. And let me tell you something, Linda. When he plays the drums, you're like, dude, does he even breathe? Like it just rolls out of his body. And we're looking at him with jaws hanging, and we're like, oh my God, he's awesome. Of course he's awesome at the drums. That's what he practices. What you practice, you become. This is why I tell you, practice what you want to be. So if you say, I hate complaining, well, practice celebrating instead of complaining. Say what now? Well, obviously, begin to practice celebrating. Don't even think about complaining. Complaining only shows you where you are. To help you see where you want to be. You don't want to complain, you want to celebrate. So then, there was always a situation where you would complain. So now look for a situation where you can do what? Celebrate. But to look for it means what? We'll go back to as within, so without. So that means within yourself, you foster celebration. Oh, well, how do you foster celebration? You say to yourself, I'm looking for something to celebrate today. So if you're looking for something, you have to project it out of yourself to see it. Well, how did you project it out of yourself? You spoke it or you thought it. In your mind's eye, you said, oh, I really would like something lovely to celebrate today. I wonder what that will be. I just want to see it and smile and feel warm and fuzzy inside and have a pep in my step and go, yay! That's what you want to do. So you molded and shaped this seed within yourself because you told yourself what you wanted to do. So now that you told yourself what you wanted to do, when you walk down the street, your quote unquote subconscious mind, which is you, is looking for what you told it to see, which is what? Something to celebrate. And you walk down the street, oh, there's one. Oh, there's another. There's another. Well, how do you know it works? Because when you're looking for something to complain about, they're like ants at a picnic. You find them and you say, see? Foolishness. Always an idiot somewhere. And you're complaining again. So if it works on one side, do you not grasp it that it works on the other? You just get to change the direction in which you're looking. But you do not give up. Why not? Because you know the outcome of seeking is finding. So if you're seeking, you see, you've got to be able to recognize if you infuse desperation within your seeking. You don't have to be desperate. Look at desperation. Oh my God. I really got to have this thing. If I don't have this thing, my life will never be the same. Oh my God. But what if I don't get it? Blah, 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 blah. I really got to have it. I really got. Oh, that's desperation right there. Stop. What is the outcome of looking for something? Oh, you can't find your keys. What do? Look for them. I told you that story that one winter I had gone out to shovel. Somebody's awake. I went out to shovel. And then I wanted to start the car and I was like, where are my keys? Where are my keys? Now, I have this habit, fancy that phrase. I have this habit of saying, show me. I don't know how long I've been doing it. I just know I've been doing it for a long time. And I say, show me. And sometimes I'll sit and I'll wait to see it. Other times I will rip the house apart. I don't know why, because I'm crazy. But every time I just wait, I saw as clear and as crisp as day. I saw my boot and I saw myself move. I dragged the boot across this little crevice and I saw the light reflecting off my keys. Inside the image just appeared, okay? I said, show me. And the image appeared. I went outside, right where the crevice was I saw in my mind, and I dragged my boot. And what do you think I found? My keys. The outcome of seeking is finding. You don't have to be desperate to find it. You know that you shall because you are looking. No other reason. So don't make it desperate, because if you make it desperate, you've changed the energy behind it. And what happens now? You've got desperation within. And as within, so without. You doubt me? You think we say desperate times call for desperate measures because we can and we're bored? No, we say desperate times call for desperate measures because as within, so without. So there's no need to be desperate either. Why not? Because the outcome of looking is finding. Do you know this to be true? I'm not telling you something you don't know. Every time you've lost something, you've found it. Whether you bought it again, and there it was, You did it. The outcome of seeking is finding. So if you say, I want a beautiful relationship, well, that's all fine and good, honey. But in your mind's eye, what does a beautiful relationship look like? What would you be doing in that relationship that would make you go, oh my God, I have such a beautiful relationship? What would make you say that? Something that you would be doing, not the other person, you. The other person just simply has been projected out of you to confirm that which you say you have. You see, what we want to try and change people, ain't got nobody to change. What did Neville say? None to change but the self. It is based upon you because it is your projection. So what in that beautiful relationship makes it beautiful? What is that action you'd be doing? Well, let's pull a Shania. In the way you want me, it's in the way you hold me. Yeah? Pull a Shania. So what would you be doing that would make you say, I have such a beautiful relationship. Oh, I am so grateful for it. Yay. There's something you'd be doing. What is it? Only you would know because it is your definition of what beautiful is. So that's why you set the stage. Because that thing that you say you would be doing, act it out. If you would say, oh my God, he is so dreamy. Or, oh my God, I don't know how guys talk, like, bruh, she be fine. I don't know how guys talk, man. But there's something you'd be doing. Rehearse it. Only one thing, just rehearse it because it's the one thing that will prove to you that you have accomplished that beautiful relationship. Now, you don't have to be desperate to say, there's no good men in the world. She for the streets. You're never going to say that. Do you know why you're not going to say it? Because the inevitable outcome of rehearsal is what? Acting it out. So long as you remain persistent in acting that thing out in your mind's eye, you set it down in your neurological pathway. And when you walk down the street, or you walk somewhere, you drive somewhere, you know what you're going to come across. There's going to be a little bit of a knowing within yourself. And you will say hello to someone, and they will say hello to you. Now, if you come at that relationship from the place of the outcome of seeking is finding, so you know you're going to find it because you're the one you're the one looking, so you have to find it, as opposed to reliving something from the past, the historical thing that you've always done. You keep doing the same historical thing, you get the same historical relationship. So you don't look at it like that. You look at it like, well, this is who I say I've become. And because I have become this thing, then my exterior will match. Same thing for the job that you want. You don't just want any job. Define it, mold and shape it within yourself so you see what you want. And then know that as within, so without. So do you see where peace comes from now? Peace comes from the knowing of the inevitable outcome. That is where peace comes from. You don't got to go rummaging through your pockets for peace. Peace is not lost. Peace is the effect of knowing. Because you know, the outcome of seeking is finding. The outcome of reaping is sowing. Well, obviously, you would have to have sowed it to reap it, right? You know the outcome. So because you know the outcome, rest in it, lean with it, rock with it. Because you know the outcome. So you see, you can be confident I got confidence. If you don't know Joseph Niles, now you do. No matter what the case may be, right? You have the confidence because confidence is an effect. It is the effect of knowing. So you don't have to say, I'm looking for peace. Depends on what peace you're looking for. A piece of that. You know what? Let me stop. Ah, peace emerges because you know the outcome. So do you need to be desperate? Desperate means you are afraid of the outcome. You don't know what it could possibly be. You're worried. You're freaking out. You don't need to be any of those things. Why not? Because I just told you why. A myriad of reasons why. So today, I am so over time today. Listen, let's welcome everybody. Mozinga, darling. Oh, the better man is in the house. Hello, Tiffany. Well, I know JVL's probably already gone to school. Would you tell him I said hello? Fan base, who is kicking it? Oh, your girl has to scroll. Oh. Moving on up. I gotta scroll on fan base. What? Oh, we got sweet Creature in the house. Hey, girl. Miss McQueen. I see you. Beautiful ones. I see you. Ray Ray. Ray Ray. I see you. KZ, my darling. I see you. Summer Rose. I see you too. Mary? Well, howdy, stranger. It's been a while, hasn't it? Isn't it lovely to see you back again? Yes, it is. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Flo smiles. Flo smiles. We keep missing each other like ships in the night. But I don't need to worry. Why not? Because the inevitable outcome is we will connect. Because that's what we want. Afternoon delight is in the house. I see you. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. Big Mike was in the house too. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you who comes here every morning because you're along for the ride of living it out every day and practicing. So when I tell you to don't lose heart, there's a reason. Just practice because you know the outcome of practice. It just makes you better. Like the outcome of a habit is efficiency. So keep practicing until it becomes a habit because then you know that you have become efficient at the thing. So you see, you don't have to worry and you don't have to fret and you no longer have to repeat history in your life. Because the way to change it is to change you, become something else. And to become it, identify, which is step one, identify what you no longer want to be. It's right in your face. Step two, define what it is you want to become. And how do you define it? You see it in your mind's eye and you experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you change. Step three, know that the outcome of your rehearsal is inevitably living it out, doing it. Why are you doing it? Because you have become it. And step four, do it, live it out. That is the evidence that you have changed your life. So you see, you're not the only ones. You are not the only ones. We live it every day because it becomes our lifestyle. Okay? So, with that being said, Miss Cherry, with that being said, oh, I see you. I see you, Michael. I see you in these YouTube streets. Yeah. It is a most beautiful thing. It is. But you see, sometimes we get caught up in what's going on in the outside world. If you look at the outside world, you will see the heart of man every time. Uh-oh. As within, so without. So for the outside world to change, we don't shake our fist at it. We change who we are. We become something else. Thereby, the world changes. After all, it is only a reflection of our inner selves. Well, how could I be so bold as to say that? Okay, if we weren't on the planet, it'd just be the planet and it'd be doing what it's doing. But we are here and we have our emotions, we have our feelings, and thus we have our moods. We act according to them. So we are the ones molding and shaping the world to match our inner selves. So in order for the exterior to become something else, the interior has to change, which means you got to see yourself in the way you want to become. And then naturally you will do what you need to do. You don't have to figure it out. You're drawn to do it. You want to get a nice beach body? Ow. This is why I will always love Danny Spiegel. She's a CrossFit trainer. Let me tell you something. When I when I saw her body, like when she was performing, like it was this big sandbag and she was lifting it. When I saw that, and I think I'm trying to remember if they did something in slow motion. And when I saw this, I said, well, damn. How many times does she have to lift that bag till she can hoist it over her shoulder? Like, what the? And I marveled because she is lovely in form and face, mind you. But she didn't get that way in form by not training. You think she wants to train? Some days we don't. But because she has made it her lifestyle, she gets up and she trains. So in order for us to live the life we want to live, we have to make this behavior of changing deliberately our lifestyle. And with that, countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when you go out into the world this weekend, my beautiful friends, know thyself. Jeez, I've become like my dad. Daddy always says to me, man, know thyself. Somebody called me. I have no idea who they are. But I called them back and it just rang and rang because I was like, who is this? And I got a message and the person sounds slightly desperate. I know it's the wrong number because I've never spoken to this person. I don't know this person's voice. So I'm going to call them back because I don't like the tone. I don't like the sound. Because you just never know, right? We don't know. I don't know why I just told you that. But anyway, I love you all. Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Fanbase is where you'll find us here again. Me, Lil Bit, Lady, and Biscuit. And Biscuit's growing so beautifully, but oi, whoo. And Lil Bit has changed. He's a man now, eh? Mm-hmm. Talking about, oh, don't touch me. Don't touch you, sir. I will continue to touch you. I have raised you from a young lad, sir. If I have to throw that blanket over you and snatch you till only your face is poking out, I will kiss you. So don't fight me. Just hold still and let me hug and kiss you. Oh, yes. That's my baby. Always be my baby. You know what? Go. Or I'll stay here and crack myself up. Anyhow, I love you all. Enjoy the beautiful weekend because you know where it will originate from. Your bosom. That's right. Your beautiful weekend will emerge from your bosom. Yep, you will project it from there. What do you want to make it beautiful? Hmm? Well, then see it, feel it, and it will move you. All right? Peace out, everybody. I love you all.